They all started with these little pieces that were left over. I mean, these are not the original ones. I created much later the same ones. But they were all left over from Bergen, actually. One of my friends was doing a project which was very much for the tactile quality of the pieces, and she kind of created big bowls of scales, rather, and they were all kind of differently shaped, and I helped her to do that as well. But one particular one was this shape, and I quite liked it. And when she was leaving the country, she was from Russia. When she was leaving the country, she left them with me, and she said to me, just chuck them away. Unless you want to store them and do something with them, it's fine, but otherwise just chuck them away. The problem with me is I cannot really throw things away. Even the broken pieces I quite like, and I like working with leftover things or broken things, or bringing things that is being discarded and create something completely new from those pieces. I quite enjoy that challenging process. So I didn't know what to do those pieces, and one day I decided to use them, and I created textile for myself, just to see maybe I can do a pendant, I can do, I don't know, little things, just to play. And this work emerged from that, actually. And I didn't want to create anything preconceived, from a preconceived idea. I wanted to allow myself just to flow, just to play, going back to that playful period of childhood, I think I missed. So there were almost like an outcome of that process. Start always with opening a slab of clay. Sometime, because the pieces maybe is larger, or I create a formation on the piece like this one. This is a curved piece. I need a much stronger base. For that reason, I mix porcelain with stoneware, or I mix porcelain with fiberglass to create a stronger base for the work. And then if I am working with stoneware, which is not a porcelain color, I paint the surface of the slab with porcelain, which is because I quite like the porcelain finish. For example, this piece is actually made out of stoneware, and yesterday, to make this piece ready for this filming, I put a few layers of porcelain slip over it. And the work starts always drawing a couple of lines, or whatever it takes, really. I don't have preconceived idea what I want to make. I just want to feel, allow that feeling of the moment at that time, and I create lines on the slab, like on this one. I did this morning, and it started with just a feeling of water flow, and then I draw with this tool a couple of lines onto the slab. And then I look at all these scales that I created, and I actually, this is the first piece that I will be making white and black. This is black clay, black porcelain clay, fired in bisque. At the moment it looks quite deep red, kind of a terracotta color. But when it's fired, it's going to be a pitch black. And these pieces at the moment looks like a little bit yellow because they are getting wetter from the clay. They are going to be porcelain white. I embed the pieces into the surface. And this is actually something clay doesn't want me to do. I am working two different type of I'm creating a friction between the surface and the pieces. And this is one of the reasons that the pieces needs to dry naturally so that I don't face with the crackings. Even if it does sometime, I welcome it, because this is not a utilitarian object. This is a sculptural piece, wall piece, and any little cracks on the surfaces I like. It brings another layer, another texture into the work. So these are my pieces, and I embed onto the surface. It is laborious, but I also find it quite meditative, which I quite like it. And the nice things about this work, it can never be the same. It's always, always something new. If someday, if I get a commission, or if someone comes to me and says, can you make me something like that? I want exactly that. I will not be able to produce that, because this is happens on the moment, and with the pieces that I have, I can create something similar, but never be the same. And that's the nice things about this way of working. It is fresh at all times.